Hello and good afternoon from Germany. It's a little bit an unusual time for our show. That is mainly due to our special guest, whom I'm going to introduce a little bit later. My name is John. This is the Swiss and John show. My friend Swiss is still missing in action. So if you're in touch with him via WhatsApp groups or whatever, you guys know I'm not doing WhatsApp. Please tell him to get in touch with me urgently. I hope that he gets a notification of the show, and maybe he's hopping on a little bit later. Fingers crossed. Without putting you through suspense any further, I would like to welcome my special guest for this afternoon, my fellow watch collector, and I would say my dear friend Russ. Hello, Russ.
Hello, John. How are you?
I'm doing very good. The normal nervousness. I hope that you're doing better.
I'm fine, thank you. Yes, yeah, all good.
Yeah, you're becoming a pro in doing those shows, don't you?
Well, this is number 2. I don't think pro counts, but
yeah, you're working on your YouTube career, isn't it?
I don't think it'll be a long one.
Yeah. So for the punters out there who don't know, oh, Danger Will Robinson is here. So I'm happy that one of my moderators is here, who takes care of the chat. So that is okay for me. Let me just make Mental Jog also a moderator. Give me a second. Mental Jog. Oh, why can't I make Mental Jog a moderator? Let me try that. No, I can't do that right now. Not sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know why. So Danger Will Robinson is moderator. So I just wanted to introduce you from my side to the punters, for those who don't know you. I think you and I, we've been talking for years, way before I entered the YouTube space. I think we met on the Rolex forums. You and I have a great passion for watches, particularly for Lange. Your heart is also out for Patek Philippe, and
it is,
and for others. I think I can say that we're almost the same age. Our birthdays are not far apart. Your collection is much better than mine, but I would say I'm the better looking of the both of us. Would you agree?
Well, if looking older looks better, then yes.
Okay. I take that. I take that hit because I'm really and genuinely happy that you're here. You and I, we're talking very often via messages, and it's mostly about watches. Would you agree?
Yes, no, definitely. Yeah, anything.
Yeah. Okay. So would you like to introduce yourself, or should we?
Well, yes, yeah. I'm an avid watch collector. Have been now for probably 25 years. First got into Ulysses Nardin watches back in the early 2000s. Had quite a collection of those, of which I've now mostly got out of, but I still have a couple that I do like. I'm quite big into Patek watches. Obviously, in the last 45 years into Lange watches, and then a few independents that I like. But I'm intrigued by any watch, really. I like complications. I probably like dress watches more than sports watches, but I have quite a collection of sports watches as well.
Yeah, and you have a taste for really dodgy watches, may I say that? Sometimes I have the feeling that you're only buying watches just to piss me off by showing their picture to me. Are those rumors true, or do you really genuinely like those?
I like any watch that I think is a bit different. So I don't differentiate price points. I have some very expensive watches, and I have some much more affordable watches, and I enjoy wearing them all equally. So yeah, I presume you're referring to Christopher Ward in that sentence.
Yeah, but, Christopher Ward and Green Dahl, I would say.
Oh well, I think you might be struggling a bit to the green dial everyone is an MB&F, so I think that's probably not quite in the same realm as a Christopher Ward, but
That is true. That is true. And you had to mention it this morning at first that Christopher Ward won a prize at the GPHG.
and
The
well
Belcanto.
deserved. Yeah, well deserved. The Belcanto is a brilliant watch.
You think so? Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Have you
No.
have you held one?
No, actually not. I'm looking forward to hold yours.
When we meet, you want me to bring that with me?
Well, London is getting less safe, so.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But those are selling like crazy, and
They are. Yeah.
It's really amazing. You have the first one with the blue dial.
Yes, I have one of the first blue editions.
Just
I think they're all nice. I think the green, which is also a special limited edition, looks lovely, and I think the subsequent colours also look good.
Yeah, and it's an incredible offer for the money. Let's be honest. A chiming watch, even it's only flyby, is a fantastic offer. And how would you like how would you rate the quality, the finishing quality, and everything that you see?
For the money, very good. It's not a Lange, but it's
Really?
Really. But I think for £3,000, I think you're getting something which is extremely unusual and a complication which you probably wouldn't expect, and it works equally well on a strap or on the bracelet, and yeah, I'm a fan.
I think when you're wearing it on the wrist, it looks a little bit like an MB&F, and it looks like a more expensive watch than it really is.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it's probably slightly big, is my only thing. But then I like smaller watches, so yeah.
So, but you were poking me by saying that you were on the list on getting another Belcanto, but that is not true. Or
no, no, that's not true.
Are you considering expanding your Belcanto collection?
No. I think there's too many watches out there to get a second one the same.
Yeah, that's true. So, are the rumors true that you're trying to get a 12 Christopher Ward?
No.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that.
I do have a second Christopher Ward, but it's not a 12.
Okay, which one do you have?
I have the C1 moon phase they just launched with the beautiful dial.
1 second. What is the name of it?
C1 moon phase.
It's Christopher.
Christopher Ward C1 moon phase, I think.
Yeah, we have been fighting over that watch, haven't we?
Have we?
I remember that. You're denying it now? 1 second, let me.
Well, we argue so much. I can't remember each one.
Yes, we're starting the day fighting and we end the day fighting. Is that what you mean? So that is the C1 moon phase.
That's it. Moon phase. Yeah.
Moon phase. So. Yeah, you got that just recently, and I couldn't believe that you really got that.
Oh, I think it's a lovely watch. Again, brilliant price point.
Totally, yeah.
An amazing loom on the moon, and a beautiful dial.
The dial is beautiful, and I guess the Aventurin is just mind blowing.
That is, yeah. I mean, I've not handled a Lange dial and compared it, so I can't comment whether the Christopher Ward loses out anywhere in terms of the Aventurine dial, but it certainly looks amazing.
Yes, I agree that it looks amazing, and I really would like to see a comparison. I've seen the Lange Aventurin, but not the Christopher Ward. So maybe one day we will see them next to each other.
Well, if you get the Lange, I'll do you a swap.
Unfortunately, I'm focusing on other Langes at the moment, so the Aventurine dial is not really high on my list because of the size. I just think that it's too big.
Yeah, I mean, again, I would say the only thing about the Christopher Ward that I personally would change is to make it smaller as well.
Okay.
I
Is it
think
41? 41?
no, it's certainly not bigger than 41. It could be 40 or 41. I think it's 41, but
yeah,
I think
40.5.
Yeah, I think drop it a millimeter and a half. I think it would be perfect. But
how do you feel about that?
I feel about what? Sorry.
How do you feel about that? That is on the screen right now.
What, the movement?
Yeah.
Well, that's a beautiful decorated rotor.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I mean, you have to accept at some point what it is that gets you the £2,000 price point. I think,
of course,
and it's all about the dial on this one.
Yeah, you're not expecting internal angles or something like that.
No.
Yeah, I agree, but I enjoy poking fun of your purchases. And there is a very interesting story that you told me about this particular watch, because you were trying to find out which strap would be best for this watch. So what happened there?
Well, I did order it with the Christopher Ward strap, which I think probably shows a little bit the price point of the watch. So I popped one of my Jean Rousseau's on it, which just so happens to have a Lange white gold clasp on it. So we quadrupled the value of the watch with the strap and clasp. But it looks nice.
Yeah, and you told me the salesperson at Jean Rousseau was thinking that you had a Lange & Söhne watch until he realized that it was a Christopher Ward, wasn't it?
No, that was another watch.
Okay.
That was one of the other ones that we're going to speak about, where he didn't realize what it was from the front until he looked at the clasp and then went back to the front again.
Okay. So I confused those watches. Okay. So my main gripe, and people who heard me talking about moon phases know that already. My main gripe is that gigantic, oversized moon phase, and my problem with those big moon phases are when I started selling watches in the mid '80s. Moon phases stood for complicated, expensive watches. Blancpain just started it. You could get a Perpetual calendar, Patek Philippe, Perpetual calendar AP, that were bloody expensive. And then Blancpain started putting moon phases on stainless steel watches. And very soon after, Chinese watchmakers copied that because, of course, moon phase brings added value on a watch. So they started to make those quartz watches with moon phase displays. And they started with those gigantic moon phases, just like you see here on that Christopher Ward.
Yeah, but you're showing your age, aren't you?
Yes.
You're going back a long way.
But I can't dial my age back. So what do I do? What do I do?
Well, you don't get the Christopher Ward.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, as much as I love the Aventurine, the oversized moon phase just turns me off. So Russ, today we're going to talk about Lange a little bit and about a heavy hitter. I was doing the drum a little bit, or hitting the drum, hinting that it may be my heavy hitter that I'm paying off for over a year. But we're talking about a heavy hitter Lange watch that you recently got.
Yes, yeah, well, because yours is never going to arrive, is it?
yes, but
yes,
to give you the credit, what you're showing today is double of the importance and double of the Grail level of what I'm gonna achieve.
Oh, no, I don't. I don't look at it like that. It's a beautiful watch that we're going to look at today, but there's no less beauty in what you're getting.
I'm suspicious when you're overly friendly to me.
No. Well, well, as you know, I particularly like the movements in the watch you're getting. I've got one that's not dissimilar,
Yeah, I know.
which is an amazing watch. So
Yeah.
I will look fondly at yours when it arrives.
I would
If
trade
ever.
I would trade the watch that I'm getting with the watch that you're going to show us in a second, without question. So I don't need any reflection time. I would do that deal immediately.
Fair enough. I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So I was hoping now that you say deal, but yeah, it's not going to happen. So yes, so to tease the guys a little bit more here, but we're not going to do it too long. Actually, I hate those unboxing shows, particularly when it's the same watches over and over. And I don't like that teasing that goes on for hours until people present their watch. So I'll try to make it short. Of course, I'm going to tease a little bit by showing that box, and I'm mesmerized by the box because it's the first time that I see a wooden Lange box.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen one either.
Yeah.
When it arrived, when I opened up the box, I wasn't expecting a wooden box to be in there because I've only ever seen the black leather boxes that they do.
So for the people who are out there, usually you get a normal box with a blue leather. I think it's true leather, covered just like that booklet. That is basically the leather quality.
Yes,
that
it is.
usually...
Yeah, look, it is. Yeah. Looks the same.
So you got a wooden box, and you told me a little bit earlier that due to your knowledge, that wooden box only belongs to Handwerkskunst watches. Is that correct?
Hello.
Oh, I can hear you. I think Russ can't hear us. We had audio problems before. Russ, can you hear me? Yes, my microphone is moving. Russ, can you hear me? Russ? Hello, Russ?
I've got you now. I've unplugged and replugged. Seems to have dropped
Russ,
out and dropped in.
Yeah, Russ, you can see on your avatar picture, you can see a circle moving around your picture that is not there when people can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you speak and see that circle moving, you can see that people can hear you. We had a little bit audio problems before. So you told me that to your knowledge, those wooden boxes only come with Handwerkskunst watches. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes. Well, that's what having had it arrive and then looked into it as much as I could, that appears to be the case, yes.
Do you want to tell the audience what Handwerkskunst watches are about? What makes them special and above the regular Lange watches?
Well, the Lange Handwerkskunst pieces basically are their Rolls Royces of their watches in terms of finishing. So they basically put as much effort as they can into virtually every aspect of the finishing of the watch. So the dial, the movement. In some cases, the movement is an uprated movement. In some cases, it's just a decorated movement. But it basically is their maximum level of handwork that they can do to put into a watch in a manufacturing business like Lange, rather than a Grubel Fusee or someone like that that's doing different level of watches again.
Yeah, I think Lange puts a little bit more emphasis in engineering and movement construction than decorative finishing with their normal watches. The Swiss, in my opinion, put a little bit more effort into decorative finishing.
Well, apart from, of course, Lange always hand engraves the balance cock on a piece.
That is true, and that is a factor that makes Lange stand out. Yes, I agree. But other than that, I think that the very high-end Swiss watchmakers are trying to put a little bit more on decorative finishing, and with Handwerkskunst, Lange is basically trying to outdo them on that
Yes,
field.
yeah, it's there to the nth degree, basically.
Yeah, and it's usually not only the movement finishing; it's also what you see on the front. So
Oh, indeed, yeah, the front and the back, yeah, the dials and movements.
so they put extra effort into the dials as well, and hands. So yeah, so shall I? You sent me a beautiful picture of your particular watch. I hope. So should I put it up? Or the
Yes,
photos?
yeah.
Okay, so after a very long research, is that your watch or is that a stock picture? I think that's your watch, isn't it?
That is my watch.
Yeah.
Before I got it.
Yes.
So it's not me that took it, but it is my watch.
Yeah. No scratches and totally perfect. So this is the Lange One Tourbillon Handwerkskunst that we see here.
It is, yes.
And this is a limited edition of 20 pieces.
Yes, 20 pieces. 2015. Well, I think 2014 actually, to commemorate 20 years of the Lange One.
So that is the Lange One on steroids, virtually.
Yes, it is. So it's a tourbillon with a black enamel dial, with a high degree of black polishing on the dial.
Yeah.
And then a super decorated movement.
But it's not only an enamel dial; it's a flanqué.
I don't think it's flunky. Is it?
It's pioneer.
No,
Oh, shit.
it's Champlev, isn't it? I don't, if that's how you pronounce it.
Champlev, yeah, Champlev, yeah. I'm bringing now everything totally together. Yes. So what is Champlev?
Well, in this particular case, the dial was hollowed out to leave the hour markers all standing proud, and then the dial was then filled in with enamel and then obviously polished flat, so that you're then polishing both the enamel and the hour markers perfectly.
Does that also apply to the Lange and Söhne logo and?
Yes, everything that's in apart from the seconds, small seconds, which is deliberately done in a anodized silver, I think.
Yes. So the main dial without those little seconds is a white gold dial.
Yes, white gold.
Which is then hollowed out, with the exception of everything that you see here in bright.
Yes.
And then it's filled with enamel powder, and that is a fantastic process. You managed to find some outstanding pictures. I think Watch Pro was it, wasn't it?
Yes, Watch Pro. Someone from Watch Pro went to the launch of it back in 2014 and got to meet the enamelist who does the work. And obviously, I'm not sure whether these pictures were taken at that or whether they were distributed by Lange. But yeah, so it's actually it's a blue enamel they use, which when fired turns black. Yes,
that is something that I discovered when I visited the enamelist that made the dial for my world timer, and I realized that green enamel turns blue when she fires it up.
Oh, okay. So to the C they use it as a green enamel, and then it goes blue when they fire it.
Yeah. So I guess it's different types of enamel, but from that picture, I think you really can see the work, the hollowing out, the negative engraving on the dial, and then the enameling process, which of course takes many layers to get it perfect at the end.
And what I didn't realise was until I saw this is they actually enamel the back of the dial as well.
Yes, that is the picture that I just showed earlier. I think that is the back of the dial that leaves out some parts to keep the movement technically functional.
Yeah, and they do that basically just to stop the stresses on the enamel all being on one side, so it evens out in the heating process.
Yes.
Which, of course, is different to the cloisonné dials that they do, which are all on one side of the dial.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I assume it's because this is a much thicker enamel process. I don't know, but I assume there's more stress in this process.
Yeah, I think so. You sent me also a beautiful picture, detailed picture. I think that is on the Lange web page, where you can see those layers on the dial. Is that from the Lange web page, or is that?
No, I think it might have been one I sent from somewhere. You can see the enamel on both sides of the white gold.
Yeah. Too bad that we didn't prepare that picture. Do you think you can find it?
Don't bring me into the preparation.
Yeah. No. We're a little bit here on like one-shot Archie, and so yes. So I'm for the next show. I'm going to prepare that picture, because basically you can see a cutout from the side, and you can see here you can get an idea. Once again, I'll make that a little bit bigger.
You'll probably be able to see it on the actual watch when we look at the watch in a minute. Actually.
Yep. Maybe we can see that. So it's too small, I think. Have a look at that upper cutout, and there you can see the layering. And what we discovered from those pictures is that you can see as much enamel on the front of the dial, just like on the back, just to keep that heating process even. Or am I talking rubbish?
No. I think that's perfectly, as I understand it. It's to do with thermal stress on the enamel.
Yeah. So here you can see the artisan powdering enamel powder with another layer before then it's fired up. And at the end of the day, at the end of the process, everything is then polished down to an even, perfect surface that also matches that sticking out white gold part.
Yes. Yeah.
And here you can see the ready. Yeah, no, here it's not ready, but here I have a picture of the dial that is ready. Now let me try to make that a little bit bigger. And here you can see the part of the layering process here. So you can see the white gold shining through or poking out. So yeah, we've been talking about the front. So this is a white gold dial. The sub-second is a silver dial. And yeah, let me choose that image again. So what is super cool, and you know that this is my personal passion and my controversy that I have with Patek Philippe, with Tanzil. It's about black polishing, and maybe you can go into what is black polished here on that one.
Well, virtually everything. I think obviously the indices have been polished flat with the enamel. The tourbillon bridge is black polished, which is quite a large area of black polishing.
I think it's the biggest black polish part that we know in the watch industry, I would say.
Yeah, it certainly was at the time. Whether anyone's done something bigger now, because obviously this is quite a small watch. There's plenty of bigger watches. They might have got a bigger bit, but obviously the hammers on minute repeaters are black polished, and they're probably not quite as big as this, but they're pretty sizable sometimes. But yes, so with the black polishing, obviously, depending on the light, it either all shows up or all disappears into blackness.
Which and I used that image in the teaser picture.
Yeah, so on the wrist, it looks amazing.
Yeah. So I wouldn't go that far that those indexes are black polished. I think they are mirror polished, but I'm sure, and Lange describes that on the product sheet, that the cock for the tourbillon.
You know my answer, John. If it's it's black and it's polished, it's black polished.
Okay, so in theory we could paint everything in black and call it black polish then.
Well, painted wouldn't be polished though, would it? It would be painted.
Well, you just said everything that shows up black is black polished.
If it's polished and it's black polished.
Okay. So yeah. So those are the kind of discussions that you and I have.
Well, it seems like you have them with everyone, because you have it with Tan as well.
So yeah, it's all me. It's all me. I know. I admit guilt. Yes, I won't let those things go. Yeah, you're right about that. So yes, so just for the punters, the size is the classic Lange 1 size of your watch, isn't it?
Yep, 38.5 by 10.2, I think it is.
Yeah.
But
So
but
that is
which,
the size of the classic Lange 1.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, and in my opinion, the perfect size for a Lange watch.
It is a very good size, yes.
Yeah, and the case is in
Platinum, yep.
platinum, like it should be. You have also a deployant buckle for the watch.
Yes, comes as standard on a
Comes as
platinum
standard.
deployant,
So, yeah. Do you
which
know
is
how much?
unusual for Lange to do that, but yes, it does.
Yeah, Lange usually are tight asses and are not very generous in adding deployant buckles. A Lange deployant buckle is nearby 10,000 euros at the moment.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
They prefer to sell you that separately than giving it.
They apparently, and they used to. I mean, I've been able to do it when I bought new. They allowed you to just pay the difference between the tang buckle and the deployant, but apparently now they've stopped that, and you have to get it standard and then pay full retail for the
Oh, really?
deployant if you want it. Yeah.
I when I bought my Perpetual calendar from the AD, I asked him if I can get a deployant, and he will take back my tang buckle. And he says I have a desk full of tang buckles that I took back from clients.
Oh, really?
Because everybody wants a deployant, and so
Yeah. Of course.
and I guess that happens with many other ADs. I had another question, but I forgot it now. I'm really mesmerized. Yes, and so this is virtually a 9-year-old watch that we see here.
2015. This is from
2015. Okay, so
Yeah,
so
yeah.
8 years, and you managed to get one that was virtually new old stock.
Well, it's from a collector who obviously, I guess, is a big Lange collector and hasn't really worn it. So it is as like new. But yeah, no, it's from a collector.
Yeah, but it was very difficult to find one in the first place, because they used to show up on Chrono 24 many years ago, but that has dried up more or less totally.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with lumens. I mean, you used to see lumens regularly on Chrono 24, and now they're very rare. And if they are on there, they're an absolute fortune. Back in the day, obviously, Lange wasn't really discovered. I mean, you were picking up data graphs for amazing figures, but these days they're probably more than doubled from where they were at their low point. And
I didn't pick up a data graph at 30,000 euros when I could.
Well, you missed out.
Yes, exactly. You could, but I didn't.
No, I didn't pick one up either of that, but they were there.
Yeah. So so I think we covered the front of the watch, and but just like we mentioned previously, the beauty of Handwerkskunst watches lays also on movement decoration, and I just got a picture up there. 1 second. Yeah, so I brought. I'm just reading her comments. Yes, man from Sofia. That is not my watch. That is Russ's new acquisition. So this is a stock a picture of the Handwerkskunst Tourbillon, and maybe you can guide us through the specialties in this particular.
Well, you've obviously got the 3/4 plate, which has been heavily skeletonized with a lot of interior angles. I think 29 interior angles on the 3/4 plate.
Did you count them?
I did.
Of course. I didn't expect anything else from you.
And then obviously you've got the 3 hand engraved plates, the usual.
So here the central island
Yeah.
The balance cock that is always engraved, but then that cock that holds the tourbillon on the
Tourbillon, yeah, and the tourbillon has
rear.
also got the diamond end stones
Yes.
in it rather than rubies. So you've got a diamond each side,
Yeah.
which is nice to see.
Yeah. So this is virtually. I know 3-4 more watches that they make, but Lange never does. I don't call them interior angles. I call them internal angles. Not sure
Okay.
if that is a German thing, but I call them internal angles. I know interior is the right term,
Well,
but Lange more or less never does interior angles, and particularly not to a degree of showing off, just like on that movement. So I think that makes this movement super special.
yeah. What is you don't see on the stock picture like that is, of course, the 3/4 plate, because it's German silver, starts to change colour over time, and actually as they age, they start to look, I think, much nicer than when they're new. And I think that one actually is obviously probably just a computer generated image anyway. I don't expect that's a real image anyway. But
Just for the viewers to explain internal interior angles, I'm gonna zoom in and just emphasize some of them. Not sure if you can see my mouse moving over one of them. That is a sharp angle that is sharper than 90 degrees. That is called an interior or internal angle. And to make the anglage like that, this must be done by hand. You can't do it by a machine. Here is another internal angle that you can see here. That is another internal angle that you can see here. Here, that is debatable. Russ, would you agree?
which one are we looking at? Sorry.
1 second. Can you see it here? My mouse hovering around.
Well, I would say
I think it's 90 degrees.
Yeah, it's finished to a point rather than being smooth. So I would say it probably is. But
yeah. So here's another one. Here's another one. So I think the viewers get the idea about how internal angles look like, and just like you said, the Lange usually doesn't pierce out part of the movement. Certainly not to the degree that we see here. And you have been kind enough to show us a comparison of both movements, one from the Handwerkskunst, which is on the right, and the standard movement of the Lange 1 Tourbillon on the left. And I think that is quite revealing, and that makes hopefully people understand how special this particular movement is.
yes,
still with me?
It's interesting to see the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, very much, yes. So a lot of Handwerkskunst. Handwerkskunst means the art of producing things by hand.
Ideal name.
Yeah. So now I've showed a lot of pictures, and maybe you want to show us the watch right now.
Yeah, certainly. Hopefully this will work.
1 second. Full screen on Russ. 1 second. Full screen on Russ, not on me. Okay. Can you move to landscape, please?
We are in landscape, aren't we?
Oh yeah, now we are. Yeah, sorry. My mistake. Okay, so here is the thing. Not sure if the viewers, it's not really focused.
Is that difficult to see whether it's focused on the phone, to be honest? But
Yeah, I think you have to move a little bit away from the phone. Yeah, now it's getting better. Now it's getting sharper. There we go. Have
My-
you worn it yet?
Oh yes, yeah. Well, you tell from the nice strap I've got on it.
Yeah, the strap is a piece of controversy, I would say. Because to be honest, I think it's an insult to the watch, but you chose that. Not sure if you chose that to piss me off or if you really like that.
Yeah, I like it.
I think you ordered it particularly for this watch.
Yes, I
haven't you?
did. Yeah, yeah. Jean
And I know
Rousseau's
Jean Rousseau, and also with the platinum stitching, correct?
platinum stitch. Yes.
Yeah. So Russ is a big fan of Jean Rousseau, particularly because they do the rose gold, yellow gold, white gold, and platinum stitching.
Well, the beauty of Jean Rousseau is they've got an atelier in London, and you can actually go in and you can choose the actual piece of leather or alligator that you want, and they'll actually choose the pattern, the actual exact pattern you want in front of you. So
So they give you the skin and
yeah,
tell
you have the skin. You can actually choose the area you want. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. That's a super service, actually. So there are no surprises, and you can pick and choose.
That's it.
Yeah, I personally think that you should work a little bit on the strap color. But if it makes you happy, is that distressed that you have here, or
It's distressed. It's a Nubuck version of alligator, apparently.
Nubuck? Okay.
Yeah, so they sort of mat it down.
Mm-hmm.
I might get a slightly shinier version. I think I have got a full gloss black with platinum stitching coming as well.
I hear you.
Because I think that obviously for a super dress occasion, you might want to pop it onto a super dress strap as well. This obviously is a bit dressy down.
Yeah, certainly. You know my love for black dialed watches, particularly black dialed Lange watches. But then pick and choose a strap other than black is always a challenge, and it's not that easy. Just like with a silver dial or with a white dial, where you can virtually put everything on that you like. So that is one of the disadvantages with black dials, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's why it's nice to have a range, isn't it?
Yeah, totally, yes. And you have a lot of different straps on your Pateks and also Langes. So I'm pretty sure you can switch out one or two if you want to.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's probably why I like dress watches a little bit more than sports, simply because you can change the look of it drastically.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Russ, let's be honest, a watch on that horology level that you have here, you basically never find on a metal strap.
Oh, no.
So when we're talking about complicated watches, it's always a dress watch, more or less always.
Yeah, I mean, you can get perpetual sports watches, obviously.
You can also get tourbillon sports watches, but to a certain level, this is more the exception than the rule.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yes, true.
So if you're really looking out for complications for this degree of craftsmanship, you have no choice virtually than going for a dress watch.
True.
Yeah. So, but this is a nice thing to have. So I know that you've been hunting this type of watch for quite some time. I think we've been talking about the Handwerkskunst Tourbillon for quite a while.
Well, yes. Well, I know. I think we did look at one at an auction last year, didn't we? That came up. And
yes. Mm-hmm.
And I think we had a discussion about what we thought it would sell for, and I think I was right, and I think you were wrong.
Was I? I don't remember those instances. I only remember when I've been right.
Okay. So you don't remember a lot then.
What did you predict, and what did I predict, and how did it sell?
Well, I think, to be fair, your prediction was based on what you'd seen selling on Chrono 24 when they were actually available on Chrono 24, probably in the 16, 17, 18, 2018 period.
Yes.
And of course, since then, people have realised that the Lange was representing huge value and that the pieces are amazingly made, and that prices have firmed up quite considerably. And of course, that when something's as low volume as only 20 made, that scarcity drives value. So I think when they've come up in recent times, they've gone for considerably more than they originally sold for when they were new.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the viewers have seen the interview with Wilhelm Schmidt on Hordinki, and he made a case and he said whenever we do a limited edition Handwerkskunst, a limited edition or Handwerkskunst, Handwerkskunst is always a limited edition.
Yes.
Those prices never fall below retail, and that is certainly the case with this particular watch. Particularly after 1917, 18, when everybody realized how special and fantastic those Lange is in general, and how fantastic those Handwerkskunst watches are.
Yeah, indeed. This one I mentioned earlier about the three-quarter plate changing colour with age. This one has been serviced recently, so the three-quarter plate hasn't taken on any hue at the moment, but that will change over time.
But it still looks a little bit yellowish, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, yes, but they go quite a bit yellow after a few years.
Yeah. So we have here a question from Patrick B. We said it earlier. The size of the watch is 38.5 millimeters, thickness a little bit over 10 millimeters.
Yeah, 38.5, 10.2, I think.
Yeah. So, man from Sofia is saying Tourbillon is another idea borrowed by Breguet. It's not only borrowed; it has been invented by Breguet.
Indeed.
So, but this Handwerkskunst is not your only Tourbillon Lange watch that you have.
No, it's not. No.
So, would you like to share the other watch that you have in that category?
Yeah, let me just grab it. So we have here Tourbillon Pour le Mérite, which is one of the launch watches from 1994 when then Lange relaunched themselves. So this one's in yellow gold. They made 106 in yellow gold in 94 onwards.
Yeah.
And this basically was their introduction to the world of high-end watchmaking. They obviously came out with 4 watches at the time, but this was their sort of super complicated first time a watch had ever had a fusee and chain and tourbillon.
It was it was mind-blowing back then, because the only tourbillon that you could have was the Lemania Breguet and the AP that never really worked.
Never worked. Well, that doesn't sound like a good one.
Well, you know that automatic tourbillon that they introduced? That square automatic with a hammer automatic?
Right.
With the solar pattern that never really worked, because the case back was basically the movement bridge, and that was not a good idea to start with. So, but this gave the first signal that Lange is not only a wannabe brand, but they are taking watchmaking really serious, and that Lange is starting at the top of the market and not trying to find their place in the market.
Yeah. And again, obviously got a beautiful movement on it.
Well, it's not only a beautiful movement, because this is not only a tourbillon, may I say that. So the first tourbillon, I think they made 200 in total of them, wasn't it?
Yes, 200. 106 yellow gold, 50 platinum, and then 1 steel, I believe, and then roughly 44 in rose gold and white gold mixture.
Yeah, and just like always, I didn't prepare a proper picture of the Lange pour le Mérite. Now I'm trying to find a picture, a good one of the Tourbillon. So yeah, I was mentioning. I think that they have good pictures. Just like I said earlier, the Tourbillon is not the only thing that makes this particular watch special. There is something else going on this particular watch. 1 second, I try to make this now full screen. No, 1 second. Amateur hour. So, second. No. Where is the picture? I'm trying to share a picture. Tanzil, where are you? I need you. Can't make it full screen for some reason. So this is a picture of the same watch, I think in white gold.
That's platinum.
Is that platinum? Okay.
Yeah, the white gold ones had a blue dial or a black dial.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
so-
know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, that is the platinum. What I wanted to focus on is the way the tourbillon is made, because that is super fine. Tanzil says, send me the link. That's a valid point. 1 second, Tan, you get the link. Yeah, I'm yeah, this is a very long time ago that I did that. So you can find usually those triple spokes. That is very common on tourbillons. What you don't see is that curved kind of springy thing. How would you call that?
That's the technical term, curved springy thing.
I'm not sure.
Which bit are we looking at?
Well, I'm talking about those rounded elements that end then in that internal angle.
Oh, on the actual tourbillon cage itself.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I don't know what they're called. Like a treble clef, basically, on the end of each arm. Yeah, I don't know.
And
But
that is a reference to the Lange pocket watches.
Oh, is it? Okay, right.
Yes. So Lange tourbillon pocket watches had exactly the same shape of tourbillon, and Lange still keeps this kind of shape on their actual models. But now I was so focused on the pictures, not sure if you gave away already what is special, what is even more special, or what is special.
Well, I did say fusee and chain, but yes,
yeah,
that's the other special thing.
That was what I was waiting for. Hello, Tanzil.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. How are you guys doing?
Very good. I'm sweating here because
I know.
I'm
I know you have an esteemed guest, and you're struggling. So I said, you know what? Whatever you need to pull up, just let me know, and I'll if you want to drop in the private chat.
Afternoon, Tan.
I will help. Good afternoon, Russ. How you doing?
Very good.
Tan,
Very good. Thank you.
You know the deal. There is one word that is verboten. That is Patek Philippe.
Yeah, that's why I logged on as the Patek and Russ show.
So yeah, Russ, you mentioned it, fusee and chain, and I'm trying to find a picture, or Tanzil, can you find a nice picture of the fusee and chain
Yeah, sure.
that Lange is
Yeah,
using?
Give me a sec.
That would help me a lot.
The chain itself has got 636 parts in it, from memory.
Yeah. So it's a long chain that Lange is using, and as far as I know, it was the first time that a fusee and chain was used in a wristwatch.
I believe it was, yes. It's certainly the first time they combined it with a tourbillon, but I think it was the first time it was actually in a wristwatch, yes.
Yeah, I only heard of fusee and chains from marine chronometers, where this is a common thing to get a constant force from the mainspring. So for the viewers out there, what a fusee and chain is all about. The problem is with the mainspring is that it has a very high torque when it's fully wound, and the torque is getting less the more it runs down. And
If you want to
one
share screen,
goal.
John, if you want to share screen, I got the fusee and chain from Lange's website up.
1 second. Yeah, here we are. So yes, so this is the mechanism or the construction of a fusee and chain. You can see a very long chain. So I talked about the torque of the mainspring that is decreasing when the watch is running down. And to compensate that, they're using a kind of gear train, just like you see on a race bike or something like that. So what they do is when the mainspring has a high torque, you have a small gear, and when the torque is getting low, then you have a bigger gear at the other side. Here you can see the cone where the chain is being wound on, and that is the trick, that it levels out the differences in torque. Did I say that correct, Russ? Or
Yeah, no, I believe perfect.
oh,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Finally, we agree on something. Yeah, here you can see the.
Here's a
Here you
torque
can see
curve. The torque curve.
Yeah, here you can see the torque curve of a mainspring. And
Now, honestly, Johnson, I think this fusee and chain has more torque than your Cayman.
Thank you very much. I will not say anything else.
I don't know if I can play this video, Jonathan. I'll see if I can turn off the sound, because Lange does have a video. If you want,
let's
yeah.
try.
Let me try to turn off the sound. If I can.
Yeah, we can hear the sound.
Yeah, I just want to get you like a copyright problem or something. But you can talk over it if you want.
Yeah, here you can see the watchmaker assembling those chain parts. It's a work that I don't want to do, and I think the force on those chains is 2 kilograms. So they must the chain must be able to carry 2 kilograms of weight, which is then 4.5 pounds. You can see the little elements, but it's much more than only a chain. You can see here a piece that limits, so that prevents that it's being overwound. So there is a mechanism that blocks the movement when you're trying to overwind that. Lux, did you ever reach that point? Lux, Russ.
You said Russ.
No, but this watch is the smoothest winding watch I've got. It's just so direct when you wind, because obviously when you're winding that chain onto the fusee. It's amazing how fast and smooth it is to wind. Yeah, it's much smoother than I think anything else I've got.
Yeah, so this is the special thing about the watch. So that is right from the beginning of Lange. Has all the goodies that is here. You can see a very nice fusee chain by Zenith.
This particular one is the 351st movement that Lange made.
Your particular watch.
Yeah.
How do you know that? From the case number or movement number? I guess.
Well, movement number is 351.
Okay.
And
So
case number.
They've been numbering from one the movement numbers. That is interesting.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
The Paul Emerites started at 250. So Walter Lange's personal one was number 250 movement, and then they went up from there.
Super. I learned something, because I didn't know that the movement numbers are continuous.
The cases started at 110,000. So 110001 was the first case.
Oh,
and this is number 315 case.
I guess that is all written down in the book that I'm too stingy to buy.
Yes, you do need to buy it. You can see it in my picture behind here.
Yeah. I've seen the subtle teasing that you're doing here. Yes.
There we are. It covers the 4 Paul Emerites, but it does mostly concentrate on the original Tourbillon Paul Emerites.
Yeah.
So they're all covered, but most of it is about the original.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, why don't you make Russ full screen?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I think you dropped him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's no longer in the show.
Shit. I dropped
Russ,
Oh
by
my
the way,
God.
this is why he called me to ask me to help him.
Booted me off already,
Okay.
John.
Okay. And you didn't even say something nasty or bring one of your green watches up.
No, he's a class act. He would never do that.
I wouldn't say anything nasty.
Well, we have some discussions where it's getting nasty, but always in a respectful way, I would say. Russ, what are you doing right now? I think Russ
I was
is
showing
now
you the
getting-
book.
Okay. So that is from Peter Chang, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes. They produced a special edition of 200 of them, which were all numbered and were given to each of the owners of the original Tourbillon Paul Emeritte. But then you could buy this edition. I've got two versions. I've got this one, which is the ordinary one, and I've got the one that came with the watch.
Of course.
And this is exactly the same, apart from the dust jacket, and hasn't got the certificate inside of it and things.
Yeah, that is amazing,
But,
and that is a must buy. When I
Yeah.
finished when I'm
A lovely
finished
thing
with
to have.
watch collection,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna buy those books. So Tanzil, what is your comment about the watch that Russ?
Pour le Mérite is an amazing piece. I'm very.
Yeah.
I'll say, Russ, I'm very happy that you have that piece. It's an absolutely amazing watch, and I've learned to appreciate fusee and chain over the past, I'd say, 12 months, Jonathan. Having you and I having many discussions around this, and I actually like the Roman Gautier version as well, where you can see the fusee and chain on the dial. I think I had that up a few minutes ago. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you had that. I still don't understand exactly how that works, to be honest. But
That's the
because
part I love. Is it's actually like, because I think Zenith also shows it on the dial as well, on theirs. But
yeah, but I wonder how that works with the Roman Gautier, because the chain is so short, and so there must be a kind of gear behind that then goes on the mainspring, because
Well,
yeah.
It hasn't got a fusee, has it? In the same way, it's got a cam.
It's
So
a kind
it-
of cam, yes. Mhm,
Yeah, it doesn't go up onto a cone in the same way.
I still don't understand how that can work with such a small chain.
Well, I imagine it's less accurate in terms of metering out the power, because it's obviously got a much shorter gearing range in a sense, hasn't it? If you think of the Lange being a push bike with 15 gears, the Roman Gautier is a push bike with 3 gears, because it hasn't got the same difference between the low and the high.
yeah, that
I
makes
think
sense.
I think the number of rotations is geared down on the Roman Gautier, so that the process of lowering the torque can be done with such a short chain. So it's not a one-to-one gear train. I think that it's somehow reduced. That is how I feel, if that makes sense.
Of course. Perfect sense.
I make sense today. That is a surprise.
In terms of the chain itself and the whole part of the movement, does Lange go a step further in even decorating and finishing even that component of the movement itself?
They don't finish the chain, no.
Mhm.
It's the polishing, I believe, of the chain that actually is all that they do to hold it together.
That's what I figured. I was like, I'm pretty sure they don't go too extensive because it has a functional purpose, and if they go past it, then it will lose its function. So,
As far as I know, at the moment they are not producing any fusee and chain, and I would guess that they got all the chains from Renault et Papi. Or did you find any information about that in your book, Russ?
I believe they are from Renault Happy.
yeah, John, the question was more around like, do they do any finishing to that part of the movement? Like, do they do any decoration to it. And Russ said they don't really finish the chain.
Yeah, as far as I know, not.
Mhm.
No, they're happy when it can carry the load.
Well, yeah, I mean, in and of itself, the technology is very strong, right? So I wasn't sure if they'd go a step further in actually decorating it or not.
So here comes
I
a
don't-
question for you, Russ. Maybe you can read out that.
If Lange are so good, why they can't make fusee and chain tourbillon with minute repeater, with alarm, with perpetual calendar, with chronograph and the GMT? Oh, well, they might be able to, but it'd be huge.
Russ, there's a simple question and a simple answer, right?
Yeah,
Man from Sofia didn't even need to go this far. Man from Sofia, if you want to have a real troll question to Jonathan Quill Higgins, you ask, why does Lange not make a world timer? That is and then he won't have a response. We went through this, by the way, this morning, Russ. We
Oh, right. Okay.
we talked about the Lange one time zone compared to
Lange
the
one time zone, if that's a proper world timer or not, and I had to admit it's not, but it's better than a world timer. That was my stand.
Yeah, we didn't expect you to say otherwise, but
Yeah, of course.
In what sense is it better?
I think the mechanism that is behind is much more complex than with the Cotier world timer, and particularly the daylight saving time indicator is.
Yeah,
is
but
a
the
feature.
daylight saving indicator, which is good in a sense, doesn't tell you whether they're daylight saving or not, does it? It tells you there is a daylight saving, but
Yes.
you have to work out whether they're in it or not.
That is true. That is true. But I think it's more complex and more difficult to make than a Cotier world timer. That was my point.
Because the way to do it really would be to have your time zones made up of cities that don't have daylight saving. That would be
that's
an
right.
easy way
That's
to do
exactly. No, but that's exactly it, right? Is unless they remove daylight savings from the majority of the world, the part of the world that has it, you know.
it. Or else have all the cities in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, because then you would know when they were daylight saving. The problem
That's
is if they mix them around, you don't know where you are.
And honestly, Russ, John would just ignore half of the side of the world anyways, like he did on his world timer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I left out America.
Yeah, he won't even care about that.
You know, since I'm talking to Tan in private, he can't stop bitching around. Oh, I don't want to buy a world timer because half of the time it's not accurate, and
true.
I need to have it accurate.
It is so true, Russ. Because I like to use my complications. Obviously, I bought a perpetual calendar for a purpose, right? And it just bothers me that that watch won't be accurate for 6 months of the year. For
I
example,
can't live with it. I can't.
Yeah,
live with it.
you know why
My
Archie
watch
doesn't.
is not precise.
I'll tell you why
Oh.
Archie doesn't care, because he's in the time zone with no daylight saving, so he doesn't care, right? It's just.
Now you get an idea what those conversations are about.
Well, Russ, wouldn't it be a lot more valuable if it actually could account for daylight savings, right? Like it would be.
Then
lot
buy
more-
a fucking Casio.
Well, I mean, I have a world time and it doesn't bother me.
Thank you very much, Ross.
I think the problem with it is a world time needs to be easy to read, and those that try and cope with daylight saving always seem to be too complicated to read properly.
That's exactly the problem. Like any of those dials with daylight savings they're already convoluted from the world time.
They're all over the place.
Exactly. Like it doesn't look good anyways. But even that, Russ, I don't know if you saw Patek's 5330. You know, they added a date to it, and it's like, do we really even need a date at that point?
We are not talking about Pateks today.
I know. Well, it's the Patek and Russ show. That's my name today.
Yes. Oh. Okay.
We are talking Patek.
That is the Disney watch, isn't it?
This is the one that Jean Rousseau
Yeah, that's the one. Yes.
thought was a joke watch until he turned it over and saw, well, you've got a Patek clasp on it.
Oh my God. Do you mind telling the story of the dial? Because you texted me the story, but it's a really good story.
Yes, certainly. Well, it's they did 3 different dials, but this particular one is of Geneva, and it takes its inspiration from the 1948 Grand Prix. They held a Grand Prix in Geneva in 1946, 48, and 50. They weren't championship races, but they were Grand Prix. And this particular image is based on the poster that was done to promote the 1948 event, which Patek has then taken and also then added in the background the fountain or as John likes to call it, the stiletto of the
I'm
lake.
I'm so upset because I'm
And the
trying to
cathedral
find
on the
the
right,
poster.
and between the two of them is the Patek manufacture, as it was then, but now it's the salon.
And not to take over,
And
John.
the number
I was
2
gonna-
car is a Ferrari 166 F2, and the car in the background is a Maserati, which finished. The Ferrari came third in the race, and the Maserati, one of them won it, and one of them came second.
not to take over John's
So you've got a cloisonné dial.
I think Russ can't hear us.
Oh, I see.
And-
I see.
You have micro painting in the background, and then Polone enamel, I think it is, on the number 2 to give it a shine.
Yeah, I think Russ, you can't hear us anymore.
Did you hear all
Russ?
that?
Yeah, we heard
Yes.
you. We heard you. Yeah. I
We
just had a
heard-
question. I had a question for Russ. If you can hear me,
Yeah,
Russ.
I've got you
so
now. Yeah.
this is an application piece, right? And
Yes.
very limited. I believe there's only like 10 in the world of these. So obviously very
10,
very
yes.
difficult. In terms of the application, when you were applying for it, did you mention that you were a car enthusiast? That there was a particular reason? You're a Formula One or a motorsport enthusiast that you wanted this piece because of that. Was that part of the application, or was it just your authorized dealer, your salon says, this is a great customer, they want this watch, and there wasn't really a lot of personalization in terms of why you wanted the watch?
No, I think there's quite a lot of personalisation with Patek. I mean, I have asked for rare handcraft pieces before, but not every year. Only when I see something I like. But my AD is a friend, and he has been to car events with me, so he knows I'm mad on cars. So yeah, they know that a car piece would particularly appealing to me.
Yeah, I think that's a great story, right? That it's going to somebody who's an actual, motorsport enthusiast, car enthusiast, watch enthusiast, somebody who's enjoying the watch. We can see putting it on different straps. Like this is to me how it's meant to be, right? Not getting in the hands of somebody who may not appreciate it to the same extent, I'd guess.
So because Russ' camera is a little bit shitty, I was pulling up the monochrome article that features this particular watch. Maybe the viewers can see it a little bit better.
You're doxing yourself, by the way. We can see your face in the car there.
Okay. So that's not a problem. I've been doxing a lot recently. So yes, I'm trying to find that poster, that vintage poster. Russ, do you have that poster?
Yeah, man, that poster is so cool. Like,
Because,
you know what? No, let me text it to Jonathan. I can text it to him because
okay.
I have it from Russ.
Because that is, I think that is such a cool background story. So there have been those races throughout Geneva, and that this particular dial is based on one of those old racing posters. And I think that I must give it to Patek. That is super cool.
All right, I'm gonna send you a few photos because Russ sent me not only the poster, but he even sent the races, like the grid itself of the race, which is really awesome to see.
There's the poster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I texted to you too, Jonathan, if you want to pull it up.
Okay, so 1 second. Let me.
I've got it on the wall.
Yeah. 1 second. I'm getting now confused. Tanzil, you really need a wrench here.
Not wrench, keys. Yeah.
Keys, whatever.
Now, Russ, did you hunt down this poster on eBay? Was this a gift from Patek? What's the story of the poster?
No, the poster is just a reproduction. £16.
Yeah, that is the poster.
You can buy originals, but I think since they announced the watch, the prices of the originals have gone.
Russ, not sure if you can hear us. There has
I
been
can.
a gap. Okay.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
So did you hear my answer about the poster and the price?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So
There we
that is the poster with the Maserati in the back. I think the Ferrari in the front. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean, they're stylized, but yes. I mean, car number 2 was a Ferrari 166 It's 166 F2 that came third in the race, and the Maserati, they came first and second.
Yeah.
I even sent you, I think, a photo of the car, or a car that Russ sent me.
Yeah,
as well.
one second.
Yeah, really cool photo.
Don't rush me.
Don't dox yourself.
I try my best.
Russ, we try to bring a little bit more content to John's show to help him out, or else we'll be staring at like one picture for like 3 hours.
Content at
Look
first.
Look at this Ferrari there. Like
we haven't had content for months now. So I'm really grateful that we can talk about those watches. I know that Russ gave me a time limit of 1 hour. Russ, if you have to go, then just...
I'm okay to half past.
Okay.
What time is it now?
So that is
10 minutes.
That is one of the cars that you can see on that poster. Is that correct? That's a Ferrari.
That's the Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Ferrari.
So and my favorite image is that, because I told Russ. So for the people to know, I think that building in the background is the old Patek Philippe factory. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not sure which one of them it is, but if you stand on the lake shore there and look back across the lake, between the cathedral on the right and the fountain on the left is the Patek building. So one of those buildings is the Patek manufacturer, as it was, and now is the salon. Yeah.
So, but what struck me was here that stiletto, and I call this dial not the race dial. I call that the stiletto dial. Because I simply can't unsee it. Of course, it's the famous Geneva fountain, the water fountain that is in the middle of the city and in the middle of the lake, and a landmark for Geneva. Russ sent me a picture when he was flying into Geneva, and you could even see it when the plane approached. It's a beautiful sight there. Russ, what you didn't see were the pierced hands that they were remaining or reminding me of the spokes of those old steering wheels, racing steering wheels.
Yes, if you look at the clock that they made, the desk clock, the cloisonné desk clock that they launched this year, which also features pictures similar to this on it, they've actually got a steering wheel around the outside of the hands in exactly that fashion.
Yeah.
So yes,
it is. And then that's not the first time that they've done inspiration from a car part, right? I think, didn't Thierry Stern make a watch based off of like the look of the spokes of one of the wheels of his car as well?
Yeah, that was a minute repeater, wasn't it?
That's right. Like,
yeah, the minute repeater. Yes.
Russ, a little secret info I want you to give us here on the Jonathan and Swiss show here. You've met obviously the Sterns, being a customer that could get access to these types of pieces. I'm assuming.
I haven't. No.
You haven't. Okay. The question was going to be around like their interest in cars.
Hang on, I've lost you.
Oh. I was going to say, Russ, if you can hear me again, just let me know.
Right, I'm back.
Hear you? Yeah.
Yeah. You're back. The question was just going to be around. I know that the Sterns are allegedly car enthusiasts, right? Thierry Stern himself, and we have seen some motorsport inspired.
I've lost you again. Sorry.
Oh.
And people accuse me of having technical issues.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, no, it keeps dropping off. I heard you say that the Sterns are car people, and didn't hear anything else after that.
Yeah, they're in good car people, right? And we're seeing watches like the 6007 that have some motorsport, inspiration, you could say, as well as the piece that you got and other pieces in the past. Like, do you think that there is some of that like passion that's being converted into their watchmaking from the founders having such an interest in cars?
I don't know, to be honest. It may well be, but I think that they're very, very careful to keep catering to the vast market of different interests. So I don't expect to see another car piece for a number of years, to be honest. We might do, but I don't think we will.
Yeah, the reason for the question is I field a lot of questions from punters that are interested in getting into the brand, and their first stop is really the Calatrava, and with Patek revamping that range into being a little bit more contemporary. You know, 6007 kind of being that entry level for a lot of people. You know,
Yes.
there is quite a bit of motorsport inspiration from it, right? So
Oh, there is. Yeah, no, there is.
I found that wildly interesting. I actually was able to try that on when I was in the UK. They had one in an AD in Bath. They had one of the 6007s there. Really nice people, like super nice.
Mallory's.
Mallory's, yeah, exactly. Amazing people. Like they were so nice to me and let me try on basically anything I wanted.
Interesting shop, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
we are
Up and down
having
and here and
Patek
there.
talk again.
All over the place.
No, well, it's
Christ
not just
sake.
Patek. It's not just Patek. They have they have a lot of brands there, and yeah,
It's
just
all
yeah, it's just because I was with Muhammad Ali in London a week or two before, and he was describing how like big conglomerates have taken over the AD game in the UK, whereas when I went to Mallory's, it seemed like a bit more of it felt like a mom and pop, I would say. Russ, I don't know if you're familiar with
my AD is a mum and pop.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the Sterns are openly positive to family firms.
I love that desk clock. Yeah, that's
yeah, it's amazing. 6007.
So those are the other dials that have been made in that race-oriented theme. I think each
I still
one
like
was
Russ's.
10.
I still like Russ's. Yeah, I think his.
I mean that was the poster boy. The other two basically went unnoticed.
And you've got the other one, which is the Monaco one of the Formula One car with the ruby and diamond bezel.
Oh yeah, I can't see a picture of that here. Second, no, can't find it here on the article. Yes,
Russ,
there was.
How many times do people say it's a 6119 with an enamel dial? I hear that a lot. A lot of people when I would review it, a lot of people were like, "It's a 6119."
Russ is happy when people identify it as a Patek.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is the first. This is the first time they've done a 5189. There hasn't been a 5189 before, so. This particular one is dial 001.
Amazing.
Just trying to to find the Monaco watch, but
it's okay. Higgins is so speechless from all this Patek talk.
Yeah.
It's all good, Russ. This is what happens, by the way. He invites me, and I just like bulldoze his channel into Patek talk.
Yes, I knew that you had to bring Patek to the equation, but to be honest, and in Russ's honor, I think that race style watch is super cool, and I'm super happy for Russ having gotten this particular watch, because I know that how much of a car guy he is.
Absolutely.
And it came as a surprise, Russ. You didn't really bank to get one, wasn't it?
Oh, well, no. I mean, I was told I wasn't going to get one, to be honest, or very unlikely. But I had a factory tour organised. They'd organised for a number of their clients, my AD, and they presented with me whilst we were in Geneva. So Russ, that was nice.
I have a question on a scale from 1 to 10, because people are accusing me of being totally jealous of other people's collection. On a scale of 1 to 10, how jealous was I when you received that racing dial, Patek?
I don't think you were you?
How jealous I was? I'm extremely envious of Russ, but I'm extremely happy for Russ as well. So that is the level of jealousy there, Mr. Higgins. It's very, very jealous.
You're jealous.
I'm not gonna lie about that. Of course, I'd love to have that watch. Absolutely. You know how much I love cars too, right? So
yeah, I know, but wouldn't it be difficult for you because of the vintage cars? You wouldn't care.
No, not at all. No, I like vintage cars. I like modern cars. I like motorsport. Yeah, and plus, like that dial, enamel dial, unique movement. You know, it's a unique watch, I would say, in that sense, because we don't have another one in the same configuration. Yeah, it just has a recipe of being special, and just I'm very happy that a motorsport enthusiast actually owns this watch, because I don't know who the other 9 people are that own this iteration, but I'm just happy that there's one guy I know that actually likes motorsport and can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I did have one request for you to review something whenever you have a chance, Jonathan.
Yeah. What do you want to?
Yeah. So there was a punter who sent me a message. I think it was a few days ago, and they asked me, whenever you stream with Jonathan Higgins again, can you ask him to review the Lange 1 Perpetual salmon dial?
Oh, okay.
They wanted like kind of your take, and I've sent the person your link right now, not the StreamYard, but the YouTube link, and they'll probably watch it after. They're a serious buyer, and they know that you have a lot more knowledge on the pieces and whether it's one to get or not. So this is not by the way, this is not a value. Same thing we usually don't talk about is value retention. Like, this is an enthusiast who likes this piece but wants to get your take on it. If you don't mind checking it out.
I own the rose gold version.
Yes, exactly. I was just about to say I'm probably not the best person to review that one.
This is the one, Russ. It's the white metal.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. Personally, I'm not a salmon dial person, but it's a beautiful watch. The instantaneous change is amazing because it's instantaneous perpetual. You're pretty unique.
And Russ, this individual also owns the 5236 inline Perpetual.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, that's an amazing watch as well.
yeah. It really is. But this individual prefers Perpetual calendars to Perpetual chronos. They like to use their watches. They feel it's a lot more usable. And I guess they had seen my battle with Higgins with the Lange-Matic, and they really wanted the Lange 1 version of it. So. But in this configuration, and they own a 5270 salmon as well. So I think they like salmon.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't recall that we battled ever, Tanzia.
Oh no, it was you just conceded defeat within 5 minutes.
Well, I considered it to be a win. So yeah.
Tell me, Higgy, do you like this? Russ owns this watch, so he likes it.
Russ has the one with the dark dial and with the rose gold case. Correct?
I mean, if I was going to get one now, I would be going for the new one they just launched.
Yes, the one in platinum with the black dial.
Yeah, I think
in my
that's
opinion,
beautiful.
that is the most beautiful out of them all. And I'm not sure, but it's probably too similar to the unibrow Patek Philippe that Tenzil just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's also
they seem to be enjoying the unibrow. I asked them about the instantaneous date, but they didn't really. It wasn't really a big wow for them, I guess.
So what makes this particular watch special is the instantaneous change of the date and the month and I think even the leap year. Is that correct, Russ?
Everything changes instantaneously.
So what is also special? This is not a salmon dial guile. That is a rose gold dial. I mean, Russ, how can you make such a mistake?
I'm talking color, not material.
Yeah. This is a rose. This is not only a salmon dial. This is a rose gold dial.
Yeah.
What makes the watch a little bit difficult, in my opinion, is that it's a little bit on the large size. I think it's 41 millimeters. Or
it's a big watch, bigger than the Patek.
Yeah, and bigger than a Lange 1. But I like that they featured that super interesting moon phase into this particular watch. So you can see here the blue background of the moon phase that changes over the day, and it gets dark when it's getting dark and the stars are coming out. So in my opinion, that is the coolest moon phase on every watch. Basically, that is such a unique standout thing that Lange does there.
The question then, Jonathan, is because this individual is not a Lange collector. They're more of a Patek collector. They have a lot of different brands, but I think this is a first foray, I would say, into Lange for this individual. If you're to recommend a Perpetual calendar, you wouldn't be recommending this particular one. Is that what you're saying, or do you feel that this is one of many and it's just personal preference? Because that's how I see it in the Patek world. Realistically, I would say like let's kind of count out the instantaneous or the inline, which I think is a much better watch than probably the 5320 and the 5327. But I say between the 5320 and the 27, it's just personal preference, in my opinion, between the two.
Well, I try to reply to the question. Probably people will accuse me of dodging the question. In my opinion, this is not the best perpetual calendar that Lange makes, because that would be the Saxonia, and I will show you that in a minute. But if the person likes the rose gold dial in combination with the white case, there is no alternative basically with Lange. So if that is the visual that you like, you don't have any alternative when it comes to a perpetual calendar at Lange.
Yep. Yeah,
Ross,
no,
would
and
you
I
agree
think
with that?
I think that's a fair point.
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
it is in the flesh. It is beautiful.
Yeah. So, but in my opinion, not sure if Russ can agree with that. In my opinion, still the best perpetual calendar that Lange does is the Saxonia Langematic.
What does the
perpetual calendar.
Saxonia have over this watch?
I don't know. First of all, it's smaller, but it's not too small.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, it is the traditional allocation of the perpetual calendar. And thirdly, the movement is even nicer than on the watch that you just saw. In my opinion, the Langematic movement is just a piece of art, and it's not being surpassed by any other movement.
Yeah, I think the size is going to be a big factor because this individual has a smaller wrist.
But you have seen my watch, and your Patek is considerably larger than mine, but it didn't show.
Yeah, well, I mean, diameter-wise, but yeah, it
Yeah.
wears probably, in my opinion, like a 39. But look, I feel the 50, and Russ, I don't know how if you have a 5327, but I felt that actually wore quite small for some reason compared to the 5320.
No, I don't have a 5327. No.
So here we go. That, in my opinion, is the best perpetual calendar that Lange makes, and that is a Langematic perpetual. And you have the choice of those materials at the moment. So you have the bright dial, honey gold, rose gold, or white gold with a blue dial, or rose gold with a blue dial.
And there's no platinum. There's no platinum.
No platinum at the moment. No,
Wow.
the platinum was a limited. I think it was a limited run. And
Can you still get those, John? I thought they were all discontinued now.
New you don't get the platinum one anymore.
No. Can you still get the blue dial ones new? I thought they'd all.
As far as I know, yes.
Oh right, okay. I thought they were no longer available.
Well, you're closer to Lange because you're calling every Monday morning to Wilhelm Schmidt. So maybe you know more than me. As far as I know, the Langematic Perpetual is still available.
Well, they're limited editions, and I just thought they were sold out, but I might be wrong.
Okay, yeah. So what I was talking about, the movement. And 1 second, let me see if I can pull up the movement. Or maybe 10 seconds.
I mean, the beauty of the Lange 1 Perpetual is, of course, it's in the Lange 1 style, and it's a perpetual. So if you've got other perpetuals that are more traditional looking, you might prefer a Lange 1 compared to this, which is obviously much more of a normal style perpetual. Yeah, but then he's got the inline perpetual from Patek, so of course that's totally different again anyway.
Yep. But in my opinion, the unique selling point is this movement with a 3/4 rotor. It is so beautiful, and it's not surpassed by any other automatic movement that Lange produced until today.
No, it's very good. It does look nice.
So my recommendation is if visually you find the Langematic attractive, contact Lange. Maybe you're gonna get one. But the Lange 1 Perpetual calendar with the rose gold dial certainly is a very good choice, and very different to the Patek that you have. Much more different than the Saxonia, I would say. But I know that they are dear, because I remember when those were new on the market. I think it's limited edition to 50, and I know that everybody tried to get one, and it was sold out, and even very high-profile collectors didn't get a Salmon dial. I think the one they then moved over to the rose gold with the black dial that Russ has.
Yes.
Does it reply to the question, Tanzio?
Yeah, I would say so. I think that the individual was interested in your opinion of picking up a perpetual calendar from Lange. Obviously, I think it's important that both of you guys said it's a bit big, right? Because you don't have necessarily a small wrist, Jonathan. So, this individual
Hey,
does.
I'm skinny, I'm slim, I'm lean. What are you talking about?
If you got one of those mirrors at the circus.
Yeah. You know what's wild? You know what's wild? Archie's wrist is only about a quarter inch bigger than mine. Like I thought this guy had like an 8-inch wrist or something, but it's not that big. Anyways, what I was saying was this individual has a very small wrist, or smaller wrist. Therefore, if you guys are both saying it's big, they may given the size and stuff. I don't think these guys are going to.
So it's very difficult to understand you, but I agree with you. If the wrist is on the smaller size, make sure that you try this out, or another 41 millimeter Lange.
Yep.
Yeah, the Lange wears big for its size, I think.
Mm.
So it's a big 41, isn't it, rather than a small 41?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And the Langematic is 38.5, so that is traditional Lange 1 size. Hope that it's available. Please let us know. And Russ at the moment is calling his AD if the Langematic Perpetual is still available. Okay, guys. So I think we have now 1.5 hours of watch talk on the Swiss and John show. And I think it's time to wrap it up. I'm posting the link again in the comments. If anyone wants to hop on, ask questions, please feel
Look,
free.
I'm just shocked, Jonathan, that there's actually watch talk happening on a watch channel. I can't believe it. I can't believe we did full watch talk for an entire hour and a half.
Yeah. It's a long time ago that this happened, really.
I know. It just feels weird. Like we just don't do it anymore.
Yeah. Maybe we should now start screaming and yelling on each other.
Yeah. I think people miss the ASMR watch talk. So
yeah, definitely, yes, and it's the wrong time. But Russ is going to bed early, so it's now past his bedtime. So I have to schedule that a little bit ahead.
All good. But hey,
yes.
It was great to see the collection, Russ, and obviously big congratulations on the new piece. It is.
No, thank you.
Russ,
And I like the strap for what it's worth. I like the plum strap. I think it looks amazing.
Thank you.
Russ, would you like to show the watch that you're trolling me most with here on the panel?
Yeah.
Speaking of trolling, while Russ does that, did you tell Russ how you trolled me with his one of his watches, Jonathan?
I trolled you so often that I don't remember what you mean.
Okay, so Russ, I think you were trying on one of your Lange straps on your Moser, and I just was like, I don't know. Jonathan showed it to me, and and he's like, I must have been working or doing something on the side, and he was talking about Geneva Seal or something, and then it was a Moser because I had got him on a troll before on a Moser. So, anyways, it's a funny story, but I'm sure Jonathan.
So here, that is the one that infuriates me most of a Russ collection, because I'm not a big fan of the Legacy machine. I think it's just outrageous to have that balance so in the face. I don't see the point. And additionally, I don't like really green dials. I hate the Hulk with a passion. And Russ, of course, brings this particular watch up on each and every occasion that he finds.
Except today, when you just brought it up.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I asked you to get that ready, didn't I?
You did.
It's the watch on the left there, Russ. The Aventurine dial. He took. I guess you had taken a photo of it and you had tried on your Lange strap. So he was saying something about Geneva Seal, and I'm like, and I think I messaged him. I'm like, what Lange is that? Yeah, right? Like, what's that model? What's that model? And he's like, you're a dumbass. It says Swiss made at the bottom or something. I don't remember what it was.
Yes, it says it says Swiss made on the dial, and he's asking which Lange model is that?
Which is like interesting because obviously it's a Moser, but it's just funny because they don't always put Swiss made on their dials, right? So it's
No,
that
but
is
but we were talking about that Christopher Ward on the left. That is not that is not MB&F. That is Christopher Ward.
it's because we were having the conversation around the 36 mil. Was it a Saxonia? I think that I tried on the Aventurine dial.
37 millimeters. Yes,
37, and I just said it just felt small, right? Like if they made that in a larger size, I'd be interested. And then you sent me that video of Russ, and I was like, holy shit, they actually have it in a bigger size, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, Aventurine dial. Yes.
Yeah.
I can thoroughly recommend it though as a watch. The Christopher Ward.
Well, it's a beautiful watch,
John loves them.
particularly for the price.
Mookie, clip that. I was gonna say someone needs to clip Jonathan saying how much he loves Christopher Ward.
No. I only like that Aventurine dial, and I'm a hater of the big.
Well, you're not a hater. You just struggle keeping up with the persona of being a wristwatch elitist.
Yeah.
You just struggle with that, Jonathan, because you do like other watches, just like I do. I'm wearing a Seiko right now. I like other watches too. Right?
You know, my image consultant will call me later and will have a talk with me.
Mr. GMT, yeah.
I'd be sacking them if you got an image consultant.
I would be sad too. I think we like Jonathan Quill Higgins just the way he is.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we are talked out now. It was a great pleasure to do a Swiss and John show again after all those months. It was a long summer. I was hoping that Swiss would come back. I still hope that Swiss is coming back. As far as I know, Swiss and we don't have an issue with each other. Thanks go to Russ for joining me now for the second time on the Swiss and John
thank you,
show.
John.
Seriously, it's always a pleasure to talk with you about watches and other stuff. You're also a big cat lover,
yes,
and we have a lot of common. Oh, Swinging Soigeru is here. 1 second.
Hey, Swinton.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
We're doing fine. We are just about to wrap this baby up.
Yes. Thank you so much for showing us watches, Ross.
No problem. Thank you.
Like I said in the chat that this is like when we go to the exhibition museum and we walk around and see these kind of pieces, but you just brought it up in this medium. So thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Yes.
It's great to get to talk about them.
I think you hit it on the head. It's just like going to the museum, because Russ is one of those boring, old, stuffy museum wards that you see. So,
you know, when you spoke about the table clock, in my head I was like, is he gonna bring out a table clock? In my head, I mean, I've seen it once. I've seen it once in my life in Thailand, with the Patek table clock that they made for Thai royal family that they display.
Oh yes,
for the tribute to the late king in 2019, and they show the pocket watch was made for in the late 1800s and so on. It was really nice.
No, they're amazing pieces.
yeah, I think I give Patek the maximum respect for doing those handcraft watches. As much as I enjoy the competition between Patek and Lange, those handcraft watches that Patek is cultivating for decades now is unparalleled, and I think you can't respect them much enough for bringing those up, and they make fantastic pieces. And I hear that the Tokyo exhibition was just mind-blowing for collectors. Nobody's talking to me anymore. Am I alone?
We're listening, John. We're listening.
Yes, we are listening.
I mean, I can keep talking Patek if you want. Like, you let me.
You know, it's the thought of me of shuffling of my collection and move to the enthusiast piece like the Lange one, it's come to my mind so many times. Like, and I went out and tried a few and see Lange on, and I told you, if you remember, at the boutique, both in New York and Chicago, because many told me that they actually wear bigger than their actual measurement size.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah.
Sometimes
The-
you're getting scared of the 38 millimeter case
Yeah.
size. And
So I did try on both 38.5 mil and the little Lange. The little Lange fit just perfectly on my ribs.
okay. That is 36.5, isn't it?
Yeah. I did try on the rose gold with the rose gold dial.
Beautiful. With the guillochage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I think. Yeah.
And they told me that they have the program similar to Rolex has to, the certified pre-owned thing. With
As
Lange.
far as I know, they don't. Russ, have you heard anything?
Lange? No, I've not heard about that. No.
Then there must be from the franchise of that
Okay.
at boutique owner then.
Mhm.
Because if it's not came from the manufacturer directly, it must be from the franchise who runs that particular boutique.
Yeah, I think Lange is on a good path, and we heard Wilhelm Schmidt saying all the limited and special editions are going over retail, and I see that on datagraphs going the rose gold perpetual calendar that we just saw is going far over retail. So only the entry models are available on the secondary market still with a discount, but I'm seeing that this will be gone very soon as well. What do you think, Russ?
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is because we're heading into probably a trickier climate at the moment. So I don't think they're as strong as they were 18 months ago, but they've probably held up stronger than most brands have because they didn't go into the hype mode that some brands did.
Yeah.
But I think it's a difficult market for everyone, to be honest, in high-end watches.
Yeah, you and I, we've been talking about my heavy hitter Lange, that if I ever have to sell that, the market certainly is limited because there are not many people out there who are willing to pay this kind of money for watches. So
No.
the higher you go, the more limited your potential market is.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
All right, boys, I got to drop. I got to get back to work. But thank you for having me. Thank you for sharing Russ, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you for saving my
Great.
ass, Tanzil, and always good to talk to you.
See you
Great
guys.
to talk, Tan. Bye. Bye.
All right, Dan.
Right, I must dash as well, John. So great to be on.
Thank you very much again for showing your watches on, and congratulations again. I really heartfelt am happy that you got it, and thank you very much again for showing all of them.
No, thank you. Take care, everyone.
Okay. Yep. Talk to you later. Bye bye, Russ.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
So I posted the link again if someone else wants to hop on. Otherwise, do you have any questions, Swinging Kangaroo?
Not at all. Because like you and Ross and Tan already explained with those pieces and stuff, and it just And other than that, it nothing really.
Okay. No. I'm only happy. Yep.
Yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm only happy that we have this kind of watch talk again because we've been disturbed,
No.
interrupted.
Is needed.
Yes.
Yes.
Look, we never had more than 10 viewers, so people may say
Okay.
this is all obsolete. I don't care, honestly, because I know that that a lot of enthusiasts are watching those shows, and it's not about the numbers. I think it's important that we offer a certain quality of watch talk, and it just makes me happy when we have those kind of shows, regardless of the viewer numbers. Just like I said, we never had the goal to be a big channel or getting money out of that. The purpose was only to talk about watches.
Oh, that's nice. It's but this is the first time I know and learn about the chain.
Yeah, you never seen that before?
Never. And when
Okay.
I was at Lange boutique, they did not touch on that. They just
Yeah.
they introduced me with everything they got in store, and the special piece, the blue star dials. That's how I called it. I know they have the name.
The
of
aventurine
the,
dial,
the,
yeah.
the,
Mhm.
the yes, that one. And wow! And then you told me before, if I go and if they have it, you have a chance. I must see this.
Mhm.
So in Chicago, they had it at that time. So they brought
Wonderful.
out. They introduced me Saxonia. They had me try the outside day, the one with the moon face,
Mhm.
and they brought out 1815 up down. It is huge in person.
It's too big for you?
No, I mean on my wrist, it's the the lock is poking out.
Yeah.
Yes. So when that happens,
Yeah.
the strap is not round up; it's become
yeah.
like angly, and that's because on my wrist, on the bone is it's not too round, and then the shape of my wrist is more on the oval to flat. So when the strap wrap around, because I had many gator strap, and when I wear it over time, it form an angle instead of the round.
Mhm.
So when the weather condition and everything change, it start cracking so much easy.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
just like you said, when the luck is
Mhm.
poking out, it's not a good look, and it's not a comfortable
Yes.
experience to wear those watches. So yeah, then the watch unfortunately is not for you, I would say, unless
Yeah.
you're going through the Archie luxury diet with a chicken
You
meat
know,
with all the
it's
hormones.
with many family members of myself has the genetic health issues, I must say, and I don't know that when my older years I will have it or not. So I try not to go to that kind of diet.
Mhm.
But I do eat those things from time to time, but not like, oh no, every week or every day or like three, 4 times a day. That's not.
Well, you must change your diet if you want to substantially grow your wrist.
Yes, and yeah, so we working on it. I mean, I'm working on to gain more weight and to be able to okay, maybe I can pull off some other piece so I can enjoy things that I couldn't but I wanted more. But yeah, it's and again it's like the Saxonia fit really good because maybe because of the thinner side of it,
Mm.
so it doesn't bulky too much, but the little Lange fits well. Bondage, he told me that to try the little Lange on and
Oh,
see if it
totally.
fit.
So we
Try,
have a
and then
question here
they
from
help
man
us
from Sofia.
tremendously at the boutique.
Yeah. We have a question here
Yep.
from man from Sofia, the Ferrari dial AP, beautiful watch, amazing craftsmanship, the classic JLC movement with the ultra slim movement that is also in the Royal Oak Jumbo with engraving here. It's a beautiful watch. If you like this type of watch, then get it. I totally like it, but I would not buy this particular watch because it's just very, how do you say, very polarizing, and it's not really my style. I'd rather have the Patek that Russ showed because of the cloisonné. I really like enamel tiles. But it's a nice piece, and the craftsmanship is outstanding. No doubt about that. Okay, I interrupted you with your Lange experience. Swinging Kangaroo, are you still here? Hello? Oh, now I'm alone. So I think that's a sign to close the show. Thank you very much for everyone who tuned in. I hope that it was interesting and entertaining. I'll try to do a Swiss and John show in a week. I'm trying to get Benjamin Chi on the show. That will be amazing. Ben has a lot of new watches and is always a great guest to talk to. If you enjoyed that talk, please upvote and tell your friends. And I hope that we all see as well very soon. I run the trailer, the outro. Thank you very much again for everybody who participated and was there.